And we back. And we back. And we back. And we back. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Sauna IE. With every episode, if you're watching this visually, every episode we're getting better and better. Just got our mic stand. As you see the mic right here, really up in position. Really working on the lighting too. As I get more and more familiarized with it, but I think the lighting is good right now. You can see my face. I can see you. And if you're not listening to this visually, you listen to this audioly. I just want to thank you for tuning in to Sanai. I bet you're wondering, what is Sanai? Sanai is a personal development platform for millennials who struggle with their brain health as well as their financial health. Every episode, we drop tips, tricks, research, knowledge, statistics about brain health as well as financial health. With this episode right here, what you're going to be getting is understanding the power of the tongue, how powerful it is to watch what you speak over yourself as well as over others and have others speak over you. So we'll get into the nitty gritty of that with this episode. But first, let me kick off the show with some quotes of the day. My first quote is, "Consistency is a key to positive progress. Never forget why you started." This quote actually hits home because I was talking to a few people today and they've been fumbling with their consistency. And I'm like, okay, let me find a quote that has to deal with consistency. And it's understanding that you should take it one day at a time, wherever you're at on your journey, on your progress, and knowing like, I have to take it one day at a time, focusing on getting 1% better instead of looking at the long term, the long aspect of what your journey entails. And we have to know that it's day by day, the little compound effect of putting the work in on a daily basis, staying consistent, whether you're in the gym, on a nutrition journey, on your entrepreneurial journey, whatever journey you're on in life, taking it one day at a time and just focus on how can I make progress today? You make that progress today and then focus when tomorrow comes, make that progress tomorrow. And it's consistency that is the key to positive progress. Never forget why you started. Always go back to your why of what you're doing when it comes to anything in life. Your why has to be strong enough that you're going to get up on the days where you don't feel like doing it. Because there will be days where you feel like, oh, I don't want to do it today, or you feel like you're tired, or you feel like, why am I even doing this? And you ask yourself, okay, I know why I'm doing this, because for my family, for my friends, for this, for that, and really understanding your why, your power of your why will propel you on the days you don't feel like doing it. Well, once again, that quote is, "Consistency is the key to positive progress. Never forget why you started." And my second quote is, "Have the courage to be who you are, not what people expect you to be." This one hits home for myself personally. A few years ago, was trying to be boxed into what the people around me wanted me to be, instead of having that conversation with myself and understanding that, yo, I have to be who I want to be, not what other people want me to be. And if you're on that, you're having that same dilemma right now where you want to pursue something else, but your family wants you to pursue something else that really, let's just hypothetically saying like you should go to college, get your degree, then find a job, and finding that job, staying in that job for some certain amount of years to get your retirement and stuff like that. But it's like understanding like, yo, we're in a new age, a new generation, a new era. It's like college isn't for everybody. I know myself personally, um, I was never in tune with college because something in me was just like, yo, there's more to it. There's more to life to really getting that degree. It's like nowadays you really don't need a degree to get a high paying job, where you can create your high paying job yourself. So understanding and having that courage, like, yo, I got to bet on myself and know like, this is who I am and this is who I want to be. And if the people around me can't accept that, then that's not my fault. That's their fault. And understanding like, yo, I have to have the courage to be who I am, no matter what the world thinks or what my family thinks or what the friends think. Always bet on yourself. Have the courage to be who you are, not what people expect you to be. And this episode right here, I said we're going to talk about the power of the tongue. And the segment that I have for you is the 7 deadly sins of the tongue. I know you like seven deadly sins of the tongue. Yeah. And number one is a big one: gossiping. Gossiping. You gotta understand, like, everybody gossips nowadays, but you have to get away from the gossip, because when we're not around, the person who loves to gossip about someone else behind their back will most likely gossip about us. We have to understand it's like similar to binge eating food. It feels good in the moment, but afterward, you're like, damn, I should never talked about so and so or said something behind their back. It's like if you got something to say about somebody, say it to their face. That makes it a better than you gossiping behind their back, and then when you see them, you smile in their face. What type of sense does that make? But understanding, like, I gotta limit my gossip, and if even if I do gossip or get into it, let me talk to that person who they're gossiping about or who I'm talking about. When someone else starts gossiping around you, change the subject. Change it to something positive. It's like, why are we talking about so and so? Let's talk about us, how our week's been, how our future is going, and really focusing on us instead of focusing on somebody else and what they're doing wrong. And honestly, speaking negativity lowers your frequency, and gossiping creates bad energy. It creates a bad aura around you. You ever feel like when you gossiping, you're talking about somebody, but you feel like this isn't right. Why am I talking to somebody about somebody behind their back, or why am I gossiping in general? So don't feed into the gossip. That's one of the deadly sins of the tongue. Number two, this goes hand in hand with judging. I'm sure we all do it. We all know somebody who's always ready to judge other people and their flaws. But I mean, everybody has flaws. Nobody's really flawless. So it's like understanding, like, judging other people, you should check in with yourself. When I get into that set of where I want to judge or criticize somebody, I always check myself first. Like, am I judging them? I can't throw stones on a living glass house. That's what I like to tell myself. So it's like check yourself first before trying to check somebody else and judge them and what they're going through, because you're not in their shoes. You don't understand what they're doing or how they're doing it. So judging, let's take it back. Let's take a break from judging, and really that's the second deadly sin of the tongue. Always judging somebody, and I get caught up in it myself. But it's understanding, like, yo, I can't judge others before I judge myself. We have to inform the person that whoever judges, like, the more you judge others says more about you. Anytime I catch myself, I'm like, nope, can't do it. I can't do it because nobody's perfect, and you just wish the person peace instead of wishing them judgment. Number three, and that's a big one. I feel like we all have this, which would be negativity. Someone who has a negative perspective to all aspects of life is a true energy vampire, making everyone as sad and cynical as they are. I know we probably have those people around us, but we have to maybe love those people from a distance, because negativity creates bad energy. And I know you don't want no bad energy in your life, no negative energy in your life. You want everything to be positive. So if that's the case, start cultivating a positive space around you and create that positive energy if you don't already. Because negativity does nothing but drain us, and it's bad for our brain as well as our physical health. Number four, complaining. Did you know every time you complain, it shrinks your hippocampus? And if you don't know what your hippocampus is, it's an area in your brain that's critical to problem solving and intelligent thoughts. Damage to the hippocampus is scary, especially when you consider that it's one of the primary brain when it's destroyed by Alzheimer's. So complaining restricts the hippocampus, which is the problem solving and intelligent thoughts in your head. So complain less and understand more. Yep. Also, when you complain, you increase your levels of cortisol, also known as the stress hormone. Complaining doesn't bring happiness and light into the world. So if you catch yourself, start complaining about something, ask yourself, what am I able to manage or control in this situation? Is complaining going to change anything? Or is it just going to hinder my progress, my growth, and hinder me, my overall health in general? And number five of the seven deadly sins of the tongue is lying. Lying. It's okay to do a little hyperbole when you trying to make a story interesting or humorous, But overall, thinking like, is lying really the best thing for us? Nobody likes to hear lies or exaggerations over and over again. So it's like people will begin to doubt you every time you talk or every statement you make because they're like, are they telling the truth or are they lying? And when once you break somebody's trust, there's really no us in it, no us involved. So if you stretch the truth too far, you won't be able to hide your lies any longer. So always speak the truth, no matter what it is. Never lie about what you do or what you're doing or a story or anything like this. And number 6, dogmatism. Dogmatism is when someone declares their point of view as reality and refuses to consider the views of others. Do you know somebody like that in your life? Or are you that person? Or do you just have that fixed view of reality that you refuse to let anybody else's viewpoints come across? Nobody's always correct and no one is always wrong. Some people grow more dogmatic out of fear of losing an argument or simply because they can't stand being taught anything that may change their perspective. And then number 7, the final one, excuses. Did you know it's a defense mechanism to make excuses for everything you do? When you shift the blame for your behavior and comments to others, it doesn't do nothing. I like to say excuses are useless when you want results. We all make up and come up with excuses, but we have to understand like come up with excuse serves no purpose. It really just holds us back. It builds into procrastination. We have to understand like I can't make excuses for anything. I gotta stand on my ground and stand on what I say because the excuses only breaks the promises to yourself. You're like, oh man, I'm supposed to go to the gym today, but I didn't go because of this. Oh, I didn't have time to do it because of this. Like, not having time to do what you want to do is an excuse because we all have time to do what we want, but we just don't have the proper control over our time. But those are the 7 deadly sins of the tongue. Once again, number 1, gossiping. Number 2, judging. Number 3, negativity. Number 4, complaining. Number 5, lying. Number 6, dogmatism. And number 7, excuses. I appreciate y'all tuning in today. Hope you have a great weekend. Enjoy yourself. It's Friday. Man, we already up with February, headed up to March. But share the show, subscribe, review. Let me know what you think of the show. If you are watching this on YouTube right now, let me know what you think. Leave a review and let me know what you think about our progress when it comes to the visuals and having the visual podcast. I appreciate y'all. And let me leave y'all with this. Not all success comes from hard work. It also requires a vision of the end goal. I appreciate y'all. And we'll be back again with Sana I.E.